Hi, welcome back to the session in the series of IC fabrication process. In this session 4, now we will talk about the basic uh, steps how to fabricate any NMOS nest. Okay, in the last session we have discussed about the process how basically we can form wafer from the cylindrical ingot. Okay, let us recapitulate first. In the fabrication process flow till now we have discussed the process and the preparation of silicon wafers. We started with the basic raw material. We start from the sand. We obtain quartzite. From that quartzite we obtain through the furnace we obtain MGS. From MGS we obtain EGS, electronic grade silicon. Then from EGS, this polycrystalline material is again put into the furnace, and inside the furnace the operation takes place in such a manner that the seed crystal dipped first and it rotates. Let us say if it is rotating clockwise, then the furnace crucible rotates anti-clockwise, and hence when seed crystal is pulled back, it pulled with it the silicon single crystalline structure, and a large cylindrical ingot forms when we take it outside of this furnace. Okay, so single crystal ingot forms, and the first step is now to cut the sides because these are not exactly circular. So crystal trimming and diameter grinding take place. Then after the next step was flat grinding, primary flat maybe more than the flats, then wafer slicing. Then after slicing the lapping operation take place, polishing etc. Wafer etching, right? And again at last the polishing with the help of slurry material, and final wafer inspection. So finally the wafer is ready. Now this wafer is ready for making different chips. And as we have already discussed in past, that a number of cores and dies are fabricated onto the wafer, right? And inside each core, if we talk about that, inside each core, this is your one core, okay? And inside each core, there are number of MOSFETs, okay? So, as in today's session, we are going to discuss about the fabrication steps of NMOS. I first of all want to tell you that basically all the operations take place onto the entire wafer, and onto the wafer there are a number of MOSFETs, and number of dies inside this number of MOSFETs are there. So operation takes place onto all the wafer means onto all the transistor which are there present in the wafer. Okay. Now let us talk about the steps. Basic steps involved in fabricating a MOSFET. The first step may be said as oxidation, lithic oxidation, lithium oxidation. Then patterning of different layers is done by a process known as lithography, which involves the steps that is the photoresist development and etching also. Okay. Then patterning of different layers like polysilicon patterning. Then we dope the N and P region with the help of the process, either diffusion or maybe iron implantation as per our requirement. Then contact cuts are made and metal is poured, and then the metallization, that means contact connections are done. Then finally the passivation, packaging and testing of the cell. Okay, which we have already discussed. So now let us see that how basically we will fabricate a MOSFET. NMOS we are talking about. So before fabricating it, let us first recapitulate the structure of the MOSFET. NMOS. We know that in NMOS there is a p-type substrate and two N plus doped regions, and inside and between the two regions there is a channel. Right? This is thin oxide SiO2. Okay, and then over this there may be metal, but actually this is not the metal. I will tell you that basically here we do the connection with the help of polycrystalline silicon, or it is basically silicide. Okay, and here we do the connection with the help of metals for source and drain regions. Okay, so if we see its 3D view, we can say that this is our substrate, and what should be the step? One step is this thin oxide we have to grow for this region where the channel is there. Only for this region we have to grow the thin oxide. One thing which is not shown in this diagram is the thick oxide, which we also need to grow both the sides, because a number of transistors are there. One transistor will be this side, another transistor will also be there this side onto the wafer, okay, adjacent to this transistor. So basically we need separation from the between the two, and so they are separated externally with the help of thick oxide here and here. Okay, so the purpose of thick oxide is for the purpose of isolation and insulation. Okay, so thick oxide is also required to be rolled, and thin oxide will be rolled for the purpose of making the dielectric for the gate terminal. Okay, then other things are the doped regions, N regions for NMOS, then the metal for the purpose of correction. Okay, so let us see it step by step that how basically we will fabricate. The first step is the oxidation, as I already said that the thick oxide is the first step and thin oxide is the second step. So first of all, this is our silicon wafer, plain wafer. First, we will oxidize its surface. Okay, so that Si plus O2 oxygen will give SiO2, or Si plus H2O will give us SiO2. There are two types of oxidation process known as dry oxidation or wet oxidation. We will cover that later on. Okay. Right now we say that the first step is that we have to oxidize the surface. And to oxidize the surface, basically we first oxidize the complete surface. As we have already said that we take all the operations onto the entire of the wafer. Okay, so basically the oxidation will take place over all the surface, but we need it only for the corner side, as in between we have to draw the NMOS, right? So how basically we will do it? We have to remove this the oxide from this portion. This oxide needs to be removed, or we say that it is to be etched away. This process is basically lithography portion. That what are the steps in this? Let us discuss that. That what is basically photolithography process. Let us say this is my MOSFET. Let us say this is my MOSFET, and I want that I should deposit this layer in this region in between. Okay. So what are the steps that if I will grow this for entire of the wafer, then I have to etch these two portions so that only this portion will remain. Okay, so for that what we do, that we first of all grow a layer of photoresist over the entire web. Then after we grow the complete layer of the material which we want to grow. Okay, let us say this is our photoresist, we grow it first. Then over this we grow the material which we want to deposit. First of all what we do, let me first show you the slide, then I will discuss it again here, that what basically we do. First of all, we apply the material onto the surface of the wafer which we want to deposit. Okay, then material to be pattern is deposited first, then over the surface of the material to be pattern, a photoresist is developed onto the entire wafer. Okay, the photoresist is basically nothing but a polymer which has the property that whenever it is exposed to light, it behaves in two manners. Either it solidifies or it liquefies. Okay, from the state it converts its state. And there are two type of photoresist, either positive photoresist or negative photoresist. So I am talking about the positive photoresist right now. That positive photoresist has the property that when it these are exposed to the sunlight, what happens that they liquidify, and hence we can remove them easily. We can wash them easily from the portion. Okay, so what happened that initially we have grown the photoresist onto the entire wafer, and then we create a set of optical mask so that when light falls onto this, wherever the light will fall, that portion becomes liquefied. Okay, so this is the pattern, that tomb pattern. Glass mask is there. This is the glass mask, and this pattern is made such that wherever we want to remove the portion, we the ultraviolet rays reach towards that portion, and that portion becomes liquidified and can be washed away easily. And remaining portion hardens and that way stick. Okay. So what happens that when light falls onto this photoresist, the portion where light comes, that portion becomes liquefied and soluble photoresist remove away easily. Like right, and when it removes easily from that portion, the material which we have deposited initially can be etched away easily. And the remaining portion, the material is covered by photoresist and hence it will not be dissolved. Okay, so we etch away the unwanted material from the portion with the help of this photoresist, and then we apply another type of solution which etch away this photoresist from the surface. And that material basically has the property that it reacts with the photoresist only and that does not react with silicon or this material, and hence it removes the photoresist portion from the top of the surface. And so we pattern the material which we want to deposit over the surface wherever we need it. Okay, so in this manner, first of all we have done the first step, that means, let me go back, that means we have removed this portion and finally we get thick oxide over the two areas by patterning it with the help of photolithography process. So if we go back, here we have done only the first step, that is thick oxidation is done. Now thin oxidation is done in the middle region for the channel. So again the same type of step will be followed. That means now again what will happen, over this thick oxide, over the entire wafer, this thin oxide is grown. Okay, then over this again we will take the same step, that means photoresist development, then etching of the portions, and finally we get only this much of the thin oxide. Okay, wherever we want, if we want only in the some portion. Okay, else what we will do, we will deposit the polysilicon first and we will etch the two portions simultaneously. Okay, because in the gate region we need this portion. Okay, so the next step is polysilicon patterning, because this will form us our gate terminal. So you can see here that polysilicon is now patterned with the help of photolithography process for this region where we need gate, and from the other portion thin oxide is still there. Then after this we will remove the thin oxide from this portion. Okay, so we can say that initially we have grown the thick oxide over the surface, then we removed it from the center, only the sides, then we grow thin oxide over all the wafer, then we have grown polysilicon over all the wafer, then first we have removed the polysilicon from the area where it is not required as we need gate in the middle of the substrate. Then after we have removed thin oxide also from those areas, you can see here thin oxide also from those areas where we need to dope n regions. Other areas it is still there. Okay, no problem. Then next step will be what? To dope n regions here to form the NMOS. Right? Since gate is patterned now properly. Okay, so to grow the, or I should say to dope n regions here, we have two processes, either diffusion or ion implantation. Okay, so the diffusion and insulation is done. Insulation is done with the help of these thin oxide and thick oxide. Now we dope the region n plus here and n plus here. Okay, again similar type of photolithography step will also take place. Okay, we are not discussing everything in detail, but basically what we are doing, that either through the diffusion or through the ion implantation, first we are doping the two n plus regions here and here. Okay, so finally we get this. Now to insulate, after diffusion, to insulate further if it is required, we can again grow the thin oxide layer over all the surface. Okay, and then we can remove its portion from the two doped regions where we have to make the metal correction, as other portions it is again covered, as here now it is insulated, this is insulated and this is insulated. Okay, so now next step is to make a cut in this region so that metal can be poured over this and can we further extended, the lines of metal can be further extended for the connection to make our drain and the source regions. Since gate is already fabricated, right? So contact cuts are required. So again, for making the contact cut, there are same steps will be followed. Okay, and finally the metal will be poured over entire wafer again, and then it will be removed from the area in a similar manner as we have discussed in lithography, from the portion where it is not required, and metal will be remain only on the regions where N plus are doped for further connections. Okay, so finally we fabricate this NMOS. The step will be further elaborated to you with the help of CMOS fabrication, where they will I will tell you these steps once again in a little bit more detail. Okay, so we will discuss that in the next session. Till now, we have discussed about the fabrication steps of NMOS software. Okay, and before concluding my session, I want to ask one question. Just think that why does the present VLSI circuits use MOSFET only instead of BJT? Why MOSFET is so much popular? Just think about this. Okay, we meet again, and you can refer these two videos once again to get more in-depth knowledge about the fabrication process. Thank you for this session. In the next session, we will continue with CMOS fabrication steps.